Hi everybody, this is Tammy and I am back to share with you the projects that I created for Tamika, who is Scrapdaworld, for her new beginnings swap. So this is the first swap that she's hosting for 2021. So I wanted to share with you what I created. So we were supposed to create a dimensional memory decks card, a dangle, like a planner dangle, and also a sequin mix. And there were a few questions that we had to answer and put on the memory decks card. So I'm going to show you what I created, how it's packaged up, and then I still have to package up Tamika's, which is not in the packaging because I wanted to show you what I what I did. Okay, so let me go over a few of the things that I used. So the main things that I used is the Simple Stories My Valentine kit. So I got this on Peachy Cheap. So I used some of the ephemera pieces, some of the stickers, and also this paper collection. So it's a really beautiful paper collection. I went more towards, there's blues in it, but I went more towards red and pinks. But it's very like a very vintagey Valentine paper collection. So I use this. And then a few other things in my stash. So I use this trim that I think this came from downtown LA. I've had it in my stash for a little while. I used some of this shred from Daiso. I used some Wild Orchid Craft flowers, some foam flowers. These came from the 99-cent only store. I used some Simply Gilded washi with the bow washi in gold. I used some of these little note cards that came from Hobby Lobby. These are from Michael's, as well as these EXO erasers. Aren't they? Yes. The foil pack. I used some of these mini buttons from, these also came from the 99-cent only store. And then I used some, or I included some See's candies, and then I also used some of these little bows from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so those are most of the things that I used. I used a bunch of other ribbons and trims, but I already put those away. Oh, here's one of the ribbons that I used, one of the other ribbons that I used, and that's from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to clear all this away fast enough. So here is the packaging. So here they are. Here's one all packaged up. So I just went, my memory decks is very, very dimensional. And I went just with a bag with a topper. So here are all the ribbons that I used, that I dangled from the top. I ripped some of the paper from the collection and just dangled that down. There's also some yarn here that's wrapped around the top. There's the button from the 99-cent only store. I also ripped a piece of the paper to go across the top. Here is my label with all the my information on it. And then this is a, I found a huge pack of these fabric roses in different colors at the thrift store a long time ago. So this was perfect because they're really big, so I can't really use them on my regular projects, but they're perfect for packaging. So I used those on here, and that's how it's all packaged up. So here are 3 of them. And then of course I always make one for the hostess. So that one's not quite packaged up yet. So let me show you what I created. Okay, so here's my sequin mix. So I took a piece of 110-pound cardstock, cut it down to 6 by, I think it's like 5 3/4 by 7. And then this is just a little box that I had in my stash, and that has the sequin mix in it. So my sequin mix is here. So I made a sequin mix. I used the big pack of sequins from Hobby Lobby, and then I added in a bunch of other sequins that I had in pinks and reds and whites. And then I also had some that were words that say love and XOXO. So those are all in there. And that's the sequin mix that I used in here. And I just put a piece of the Simply Gilded washi tape to keep it closed. Here is my planner dangle. So I did the big paper clip, and none of them are the same. But they're the big paper clips, the big chunky little paper clip, and a bunch of different dangles. I think they all have some type of sequin or blingy bead. And then there's some gold charms, some enamel charms. I love this faceted white milky glass charm. And then this one has a flower on it. So like I said, no two are the same. But I did put them on the card like this with the charms at the top. So that they hang over instead of them hanging down from the bottom. Then you wouldn't you wouldn't really be able to see them from the from the packaging. And then I also created a pen. Excuse me. I also created a pen for them. So these pens I got off of wish.com, and I've had them in my stash a little while. They had a loop on the top, so I just dangled a bunch of different charms that match the ones that I put on the paper clip off the top of the pen. And then that just gets, I tape it down, I put it down with a piece of ribbon that I glue on both sides, and then I put like a sticky dot underneath the bottom part. And then, so you can see the pen, how it looks in the packaging. So it pretty much doesn't move. So like I said, no two are the same. You can kind of see the charms that are on that one. But they're all very pretty. They all have a lot of charms and dangles on them. And then here is my Memory Dex card. So this was inspired first by a box of chocolates, and then by another Memory Dex card that I saw at Frank's studio. So this is my chunky 3-dimensional Memory Dex card. Like I said, it's a box of chocolates, not quite chocolates, but so I cheated a little bit. I did not make the box, but I totally could have. But these boxes were at Michael's for $1.49, and then they were 40% off. So I couldn't beat that, and for time constraints, I just grabbed 4 of them so that I could do that, use them on my project. I actually bought 4 pink ones and 1 red one, and the red one was kind of like I played around with it. So I thought that this was a little two-dimensional. So I cut down the box originally. I cut down the red one. I cut off about 1/4 of an inch. But then I started having problems like taking the lid off. And I didn't want them to struggle with the lid or rip the Memory Dex card or anything like that. So I decided not to cut down the box. And then I had also put some flowers on the side right here. You'll see on my Memory Dex card. Without realizing it, I glued them to the lid. So if I had done that, then I wouldn't have been able to open these, and that would not have been good. So here it is. So I took 2 layers of 110-pound cardstock. The pink layer is Basil cardstock. I did put a layer of lace on top of the Memory Dex card, and I used the Heidi Swapp die, Memory Dex card die. These little hearts, I think those came from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, I think those came from Hobby Lobby. And then here are these foam flowers. I always like, this is how they look regularly. I always like to glitter them up, so I just put some regular glue on them, and then I just dunk them into some Tim Holtz dry stickles to give them that glittery look. And then there is one of the small little magnolias. And then you can see the trims that I used. And then here's the trim on the side. I forgot to show you this tiny little pink Chinese braid I also used on the top of this one. And then, oh, I forgot the other thing too. So I used the Tim Holtz little typewriter die. And then I cut it out on some gold foiled paper. I tied a bow out of some other lace. I put a button and a bling. And then here are the hip rosebuds that I coiled. I wrapped them together, coiled the stems, and then put the little bow on top. From the typewriter, I just typed hello on a piece of cardstock and put that there. Then here's the little filigree little heart from the 99-cent only store. And then this is one of the ephemera pieces from the kit. And so it does open. So when you open it, see? Okay, so when you open it, it has some Seeds candy in it. I did use this foiled paper from Michael's, the foil pack on the bottom, and then some of the paper shred. And I had to end up taking out some of the paper shred because the box lid kept coming off because it was just too much stuff there. So that's how it fits. And then on the back, like I said, we had to answer some questions. So I just used one of the little cards from Hobby Lobby, and those I already had in my stash. I put some of the Simply Gilded washi tape, and then one of those red stickers from the from Michael's. And then inside is another little card, or is a little card with some of the washi and then my information on it, or answering those questions that we had to answer. So that is my 3D dimensional layered Memory-Dex card. So once they eat the candy out, they can use it and put like other little embellishments or something like that inside. But I thought it was a cute idea. I still would have liked it to be a little bit shorter, but like I said, I wasn't able to take the lid off when I did make it shorter, so it had to stay this length. And then there's a goodie in the pack. So that is my swap for Tamika's New Beginnings swap on I believe it's YouTube and Instagram crafters that are joining in. So stay tuned to her channel. I will put a link to her channel in the description box, but she will share you know, like what everybody created in each different group. I forgot to write down what group I'm in. But we're in groups of 4, so we have to make 3, and then I always make 1 for the hostess, so I always make 4. So that is my swap. I hope you like it, and I hope the ladies in my group like it as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a really great day. Bye!